SMS is the lead single of the album, Save Yourself. It's also the intro. Traditionally, I put a lot of stock in the intro of an album. I find it to be really important because it sets the mood. So I try to approach it like a newsreel in terms of I try to cover a lot of the subject matter and the themes and really give you, I guess, a snapshot of what is to be expected from the project. This one in particular, I wrote in the sort of midst of a down point in my life. It has a lot of themes of isolation, loss, trauma, grief, and in the way that Lachy really brought the video to fruition, the church and the religious symbolism for me is symbolic of how we're all looking for these external factors to remedy our life or provide direction or a sense of security. You know, some people are able to do it through religion or drug addiction or with work. There's any number of coping mechanisms that we all employ when ultimately you have to truly be able to look within to get that sense of peace that you're after and take your happiness and your well-being into your own hands. And that means being accountable for it and also taking the responsibility for your shortcomings. You know, the last bar in the track is, when I tried to pray for help, God told me save yourself, motherfucker. That bar really, I guess, encapsulates a lot of the themes that are kind of omnipresent throughout the whole project. There's a lot of ideas of struggle, but also with accountability, also with self-empowerment, self-determination. And I guess the overall idea of it is that as much as it can be easy to look externally for a sense of validation or gratification or seeking direction or help, you kind of have to look within. So, you know, in the opening bars, I say, lately I've been working on myself, trying to deal with all this pain without me hurting someone else. You know, not trying to perpetuate the same behaviors or circumstances that maybe I've been impacted by in my quest to heal, you know. So many thoughts inside my head without a person I could tell. Gone through the pandemic, you know, we're simultaneously more connected than we've ever been in human history and more disconnected physically than we had been in a long time, if not ever. I had to learn to look within when I was searching for some help. It was kind of this idea that I've always come back to in my life where anytime something goes wrong or circumstances haven't aligned in a manner that's been favorable to the outcome I've desired, instead of being like a lot of people who look externally and be like, I was victim of this circumstance or I was fucked over by this person, I always look inwards and be like, well, how could I have done better? What could I have done to change that outcome? How can I learn from this and move forward in a manner that's going to be advantageous to a more successful outcome? That's basically my belief is, you know, accountability is the highest form of empowerment. And once you realize that everything, with the exception of a very few things in life, is within your control, or at least how you react to it is within your control, then there's a great sense of autonomy and empowerment that comes with that. So as much as there's a lot of talk of, you know, this struggle and trauma and grief and loss within the song, like as you progress through the album, you really start to get these overarching themes of empowerment and all of the other values that I'm sort of trying to communicate. But I've sort of set up the album so that this song really sets up the picture so I can show you what I'm going through. We never want to just hear somebody preaching to you. You need to see that they've been through it themselves. So I hope that people can relate to the struggle, and I hope they can find empowerment in my story, I guess.